morning.
Morning.
This is my wife Erica, and we are in the Uintas at Crystal Lake Trailhead, getting ready to hike the Clyde Loop trail. So we're going to have fun. It's Saturday, October 17th. I don't really know what day it is. My wife does. That's why I brought her. She's my hiking partner for the day. It's kind of chilly up here. It's going to be 70 degrees down in the valley. Probably 50 up here right now. I didn't look and see what it showed on the thermometer in the car. But you see the peak back there behind us. We're going to go hike up around that. Not around it, but around by that. This is a 5-mile hike. So it's all pretty level though, so we're hoping to have fun. I'll do some more video here as we get on the trail. So we're just a little bit into this hike, maybe, I don't know, 300-400 yards. Just walking along. This is a pretty good trail. It's not steep for the most part. It's just fairly level, hardly any elevation gain. If I let my wife hike in front of me, I don't have to wait for her to catch up. She hikes slow. She's got short little legs. She's the only woman I could find that was shorter than me. So, because I'm only 5'5", and she's what, 4'10", 4'11". There's Crystal Lake right back there in the trees. This is a good hike. This is our first time on it. I've looked at the maps and stuff and just said, let's do this hike. Looks like a fun one. Just to do a fairly easy hike that takes you through some pretty terrain. I've got my camera gear with me today. See my tripod, I got my camera in the bag here. Camera and 3 lenses. Because we plan on sticking in here till probably sundown. I'm gonna try to find some cool high alpine firs, how they get bent and twisted in the high load snow areas, and I want to find some up here in the rocks and see if I can photograph them with the last evening light on them. So that's what I'm doing. I'll show you some more later. The first fork you come to, if you're going to take the Clyde Lake, the Clyde Loop Trail, is this sign right here. And it's a little metal sign that says Cliff Lake, and it points that way to your right. So make sure you go that way if you want to take the Clyde Loop up to Clyde Lake. All right. So a word of warning if you're gonna do this hike or any hike up here in the Uinta Mountains, be prepared. I know somebody else had that motto. Was on this trail in this area that a mother and a daughter, not young people, daughter was in her 20s or 30s, they were from back east, came hiking up in here in September, and we're not prepared. Didn't have the right equipment, way to make a fire, flashlights, cold weather gear, anything. Somehow they got lost, and nobody ever saw them again. and they were about a mile from their car. They found them, their bodies, their remains, the following year, quite a ways away from where anybody thought they were going to be, though they were right off the trail in a place they'd found shelter. But a storm had come in, they'd got wet, and they didn't survive the night. And that's sadly too frequent up in here. This is dangerous country. You're over 10,000 feet. Even in the summer, it will snow up here. So be careful when you're on the trail. That is snow. It has snowed up here recently with that last series of storms that came through. So as I was saying, be careful. This is Cliff Lake, and it's pretty, isn't it? Let me give you a Bob Ross type of video of this. This is Cliff Lake. Good spot to do a Milky Way shot. There's a camp robber, Jay. We just had to spend a little bit of time here at Cliff Lake. This is pretty. I'm gonna come back here and shoot the Milky Way from this spot next summer. I think this will be a great spot if it's a nice clear night and calm with or very few ripples on the water. Get some great reflection. Oh, just beautiful. I wasn't looking at your can. She's thinking I was looking at her can when I said that's just beautiful. I was looking at the lake. Yeah, every time you see me walk by my camera, I have to come back and get it. Well, there I go. Well, that little climb is maybe 100 yards, is well worth the view. Look at that view behind us. Isn't that amazing? Let me show it to you. That's the trail we came up.
That's all water runoff right
that rock bed down there. That's Cliff Lake. About a mile into this hike, maybe a mile and a half now. I'm gonna set this right here and let you enjoy that view for a minute. You doing all right?
Uh-huh. You know me, just slow.
That's another little climb we had to come up. With a little pond down there. A little unnamed pond. So there's some boulder fields you got to climb up, but it's nothing really bad. Look at the view up here. This is a really pretty hike. Fall colors are pretty much done. You can still see the rusty red in the berry bushes. You gotta remember what those are called. So it looks like we got another uphill here to go up through that and then come into another basin. Here we are at another little unnamed kind of pond. Look at the peak behind it. Just beautiful in here. Really nice. Trail goes off that way. Guess I better go catch up with my wife. I'm not sure what lake this is. I don't think this is Clyde. There was a sign that just said lake this way and trail the other way, going around the lake that way. Really pretty though. It's the spot right back there that I just did that other video. So I'm pretty sure Clyde Lake is, because we're only about 1.3 miles in, so I'm pretty sure Clyde Lake's on the other side of that region, that next basin. So over there. Look at that pretty view. I don't know what lake that is down there. I'll tell you later. We'll end up going around it. Peek back in there. Clyde Lake is further back around this way. And what did I say that was? Mount Washington?
No. Watson.
Mount Watson. Beautiful view. Yeah, I just talked to a guy, said we're gonna see the best view on this hike. So more snow in the shade. That last storm that came in here snowed. So let me show you this. Dry mostly, but look at that. So there's Clyde Lake. The trail's right over there, it goes around. We got off the trail just a little bit to go to that overlook where the wind will blow us off. We're going to go around that and around over there and down that way. Halfway point's right over about halfway on the lake. So
There's some people over there.
yeah, there's some people over there. There's quite a few people on the trail. We're going to go set up a spot and make some lunch. Can we do that? There's another big gust.
Hold on to your hat.
Yeah, seriously. Look at this slick rock. Totally slick granite. The wind blew it over. So this is Clyde Lake. Like that last video, the wind blew the camera over. I went back to get it and I'm like, where'd it go? Lunch is brought to you by Mountain House. No, I'm not giving them, well, I am giving them an endorsement. I buy a lot of their stuff. I need to get my own freeze dryer and make my own. I eat a lot of this stuff actually. They put a lot of salt in it. But Erica's is boiled and cooking. Just trying to get my water hot. If anybody knows a good stove shield to stop the wind from hitting it, let me know. I've been able to find one I want. So we're at Clyde Lake. Found a spot somewhat out of the wind. Some of these gusts are pretty brutal. And we're just getting ready to eat lunch. It's kind of late. It's like 3 o'clock, isn't it?
I don't know.
Anyway. Well, we enjoyed our lunch. Chilled out here for a bit. The wind is not too bad if you find the right pocket to sit in. Cool, but put my hoodie on. She's got her lightweight jacket. I've got my big heavy coat there on my pack just in case. But as I was saying earlier, always prepare when you come into this country. Summertime, generally you're fine if there's not a big storm coming in, but it'll snow up here in June sometimes. Even July 4th has had snow in here. Those ladies, there were, as I was telling you on an earlier video, there were some ladies from back east, I want to say South Carolina, mom and a daughter, that hiked into here and got lost and ended up getting cold and wet in a storm apparently, and died. And it was, as far as I know, it was back over this way. I'm not really, I'd have to look. You can blog post it. Google it and look. There's some good blogs on it. But this country can be deadly. So especially at this time of year in October, when you come in here, make sure you come in when the weather's going to be good. There's no big storms coming in, because you get stranded up here, you die. There was a hunter, they finally found his remains this year. Last year it was over by Lyman Lake, which is actually just about due north of here. He was over there hunting. He was from Texas, 60-something-year-old, and went away from camp, and they never came back. They never found him till just a couple weeks ago. They found his remains. He probably had a heart attack or a stroke. It's hard to say, but be careful when you come into this high country. If you come here from out of town, you're not used to elevation, you can get altitude sickness. We're at over 10,000 feet right here. If you start to get headaches when you come into a high country area like this, turn around and get out. The only way to fight altitude sickness is to get back down to lower altitude. It's the only thing you can do. But a lot of people will come into these areas not realizing what they're going to get into. I mean, we're 2 miles from the car, and that 2 miles is a long ways if you end up getting hurt, if you break a leg, anything like that. So that's my little speech preach for the day on hiking. Be prepared, be safe. So we're going to head on out. We're going to continue on around, what lake are we at? Clyde Lake, and go down. It's called Clyde Lake's right there. We're gonna go out. The trail's gonna take us out and around, and we're gonna go back down around that way to that lake that was below us, around that, and just back, make this loop. So show you some more videos in a minute. Check out this pretty little pond. And there goes my wife. I better go catch up to her. So this is a really good example of a glacial lake. The High Mountain Glacial Cirque, where a glacier carved this out, and once it melted, it left a pocket for water, to accumulate. This was all glacial carved. You can see the trail right here. We just came up, all glacial carved, just scoured from glaciers that sat in here. This was what would be known as the zone of accumulation on a glacier, which is where it literally accumulated most of the snow, and then would start to move downhill. All the Uinta Mountains were carved from glaciation. I like geology, so it's my wife. There she is up there. She ditches me when I stop to mess around, but I catch up. Now, this is always fun. This is your tax dollars at work right here. Not coming in and cleaning up the trail. Now you better go help her. There's a couple mountain goats up there. Sorry for the shakiness. I'm zoomed all the way in. They're a long ways off, but pretty cool. We made it back to the car. 8 o'clock.
Hello.
There's my wife. How you feeling?
I'm good.
You
Sore.
good?
My feet are sore.
Yeah,
but I'm good.
she's got a problem with her heel or with her one foot, and it started hurting her on the way out, so we had to take it a little slow. But we ended up timing it perfectly. We got to Wall Lake right as the sunset and went right down to it and it was a spectacular sunset over Wall Lake. I'll post that picture up here. My phone, I use my iPhone to do these videos, and my phone died. I was running a new hiking app that's a hiking project, a free app, and I like that app. It's way better than, from what I could tell, than all maps. In fact, some girls stopped us at Clyde Lake and asked us if the trail to go do the loop that we were doing, how to continue on the trail, because she had all maps. I think that's the app, and it had just died on her. It quit working. It lost signal or whatever. So this hiking project looks like a good app, except it ate battery power. I've done that last hike I did to Cryst Lake with my son. I used my iPhone for all my video stuff and didn't have any problem, but it sucked battery power because it's GPSing. So I even had my phone on airplane mode. But anyway, so 8 o'clock, we made it back. We hiked from Wall Lake back to the car in the dark. There's one spot, you cross a bridge right at Wall Lake, a bridge that crosses the overflow, and you go down, and it's a little hard to tell where the trail is. You make immediate left and you go down, and it looks like the trail steps over some rocks that are piled up there and continues on. It actually drops off right there, makes a switchback right there. So, and I actually turned my phone back on and pulled back up the Hiking Pro app with like, you know, 10% battery power remaining, and checked where I was, walked back up the trail, made sure, because you know, it was getting dark, and we had warm clothes, coats and everything. We bundled up and hiked out and fine. So thanks for watching this. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're sitting here, I took some photographs I'll put on here with my real camera. A couple of the last videos are from of us on the trail or from my Nikon. I've got a Nikon D850 that I shoot with. So check out my website. It's www.twmitchell.com, or just my name, Tomas W Mitchell Photography. We'll pull it up, see my work that I do, and thanks for watching. Happy trails.